What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mr. Madrid from the Mr. Madrid Show. And today we have a very special guest by the name of Jose Alfonseca. It's an honor to have you today on the show. He's somebody that's been very influential behind the scenes when it comes to videography and now cinematography. Somebody that you'll see out and about in different areas. Oddly enough, and it surprised me, right? Because we actually just met today for the first time. I attended the Pasaporte NYC event on Saturday. I flew up for that, and I saw him there. And I had put out a notice, like I wanted to connect with talent out here while I was here, and if anybody's interested in coming on the show. And I was extremely flattered and surprised that he reached out to me because I know he's busy. I've seen him around in different places, moving and doing his thing. That he wanted to be on the show. So I was like, hell yeah. I've seen your work in the past and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to make it happen. But as we were talking, that night I passed out around 9, woke up like at 3 in the morning, and he had messaged me at 3. And like anybody else, I go on Instagram and this dude is behind 50 Cent shooting. And I think the next time we spoke was at 9 in the morning. So I'm like, yo, dude, do you even sleep? So this dude is a beast, bro. His work ethic speaks for itself. And while we have you here, I want to ask you, who is Jose Alfonseca?
Man, a hard worker. That's to say the least. One of 5, Dominican born in Washington Heights. And I just love cinematography and videos and just love cinema, to be honest with you. That is my main calling in life.
Dope. And I definitely want to dive into like the starting portions of it, but I want to address the elephant in my room real quick.
Okay.
Because early on when I knew of you, I knew you as a dude that ran LOZER Films, right? So can you real quick, just for the folks watching, and I'm pretty sure the people that see it, if they don't know about the transition, now they'll know. Talk to us about that transition from LOZER Films to now your company being called Alfonseca Films. What led to that?
LOZER Films started with one girl that I dated back in my early college years. She gave me a red point and shoot Nikon camera, and my journey started from there. And I started in like nightlife.
Okay.
And that journey in like nightlife, it got me into music videos, private events, pretty much day in the life studio sessions. I filmed it all, and that was the LOZER Films part of this. And then transition going into corporate spaces. I wanted to change the name and clean it up a little bit more. And ProStyle told me this a long time ago, and I should have listened to him back then because I was still going with the LOZER Films name.
Yeah.
But he was like, you should switch it up and like you just use your name. And at the point I was like, nah, I didn't really want anybody to know my name. I just kind of wanted the company to
speak for itself.
And but how you call this? Going from LOZER into Alfonseca Films, it was just more like a corporate transition. We're just going into different spaces and just wanted the name to just sound a little bit nicer and cleaner.
Dope. Yeah, like, and I think it's always dope using like your last name, because like something that we were talking offline about Rockefeller and things like that.
Yeah.
I love Dame Dash, and I'm gonna put the pause portion because that's his thing. But he always talked about like hustling for your last name and not your first. And Alfonseca is your last name, correct?
Yeah.
Same thing for me. Like I try to bring everything with my last name of Madrid. So like when I had different businesses, it was always Madrid's something.
Yeah.
So I think that's very powerful to switch it from LOZER Films to something that is more broad. Like you can take that anywhere, right?
It's a little bit more personal, more closer to home for me also at the same time.
Yeah. How does your family know that that's what your thing is? Like your business thing?
My siblings too, obviously. They know right away. It took a while for my dad to catch on.
Yeah.
My mom, I've lived with my mom for the good portion of my life when I was beginning LOZER Films. So I don't even think my mom still today knows exactly what I do, but she knows I do something with cameras.
You're like Tommy from Martin to your mom. She's like, what? Él trabaja, but I don't know what exactly it is he does.
Yeah, something to that degree.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mom looks at me and she like my mom can't. She'll be like, "So you make I don't know about your my mom is always about the dollars. So she's like,
Oh
"Do
no,
you make
yeah.
money off
She's
of
like,
this?"
can you make money? Nah, I help my mom out with like financial stuff here and there, so she knows that I was like, you are producing
Yeah, yeah.
something.
She's like, I'm good, ma.
Like, yeah, I got you. I could pay this bill. Don't worry about
That's
it.
funny. That's funny. And in questioning it, like the question about the transition too, like was there any learning curves or growing pains to switch from Loser Films to Alfonseca? Because I feel like somebody like me, I knew you just as Loser Films. Do you feel like there was a little bit of a gap when you switched to that where people weren't aware or anything like that?
Yes, it was actually a huge gap because a lot of people that meet me and then like they see like I'll be at an event or something and then they'll see the Alfonseca at the end and they're like, oh wait, but weren't you Loser Films? Like, oh, you used to do this. So it's always funny to me when I run into people in like different spaces and they're like, you would know me and like the name you would call me will be from a different time. So if
Yeah,
you call
yeah.
me Jose, you know me from like
From way
Alfonseca.
back.
If you call me Loser, you know me from this time
Oh, okay,
period of
okay, I get what you're
nightlife.
saying.
But it's always like different. It's different phases.
Different chapters, bro.
Yeah,
That's pretty dope. And then you mentioned like that you had somebody in your past who kind of gave you a camera and that kind of started you off.
yeah. Her name was Chella. She was my ex girlfriend. She around college. It was for my birthday, I believe. She gave me a red point and shoot Nikon camera. It was like a Coolpix, and that started like my vlogging career. So at the time, Joe Button TV was doing. He was started his vlog and he was doing Joe Button TV.
Yeah,
So I would start my thing with like Loser Films TV or stuff like that.
nice.
I'll go to like what was it, Union Square, and like ask people questions and stuff like that. I'll upload it and create like a website.
That's
That's when like
dope.
loserfilms.com came about.
How long ago was that? Like what year was that?
Oh, for years. I'm gonna probably say like 08, 09.
Mm,
So I've been doing this for quite some time. That was the nightlife era of me where it was loser films heavy, where I just created a website and I was funneling all of the content on there because I started with pictures first.
okay.
So it was nightlife and doing like, the club photographers.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have a Friday night, which between Chela and Julian, I owe them so much because they were the first people to believe in me.
That's dope.
Julian from Real Fam, I don't know if you know him.
From where?
Real Fam,
No, I don't.
he was a promoter. Everybody has a promoter friend.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
was the one that like invited me into like the nightlife.
Dope.
Nate Sketchy, do you know him?
Yeah, yeah. I've been following him as of late.
Yeah, so
He's dope,
Sketchy,
man. Like shout out to him. We don't know each other, but everything he's doing, shout out to the icon movement. Like I
yeah,
like that. I love that.
that's one of his latest ventures. But he like I started with him. So Julian brought me in. He introduced me to Nate, and Nate had a Friday spot, and his photographer called out, and I've been working Fridays ever since then. It was kind of crazy, but he was the one that like opened the doors, and then Nate took me under his wing, and then wherever Nate went, I was his photographer. So I
That's
was doing
dope.
Fridays there, and what was it, probably like Amber or TBA at the time,
Yeah.
and then going into like the days on Sundays, so many phases and era of like that nightlife era.
Jose, talk about that too. Like, I'm interested in seeing your outlook on opportunities. You said that Nate Sketchy, Nate, right?
Yes,
Nate
correct.
Sketchy. He gave you like an opportunity because somebody didn't show up one day for whatever
Correct.
reason. But talk about the importance of recognizing an opportunity and throwing yourself into it, which opened up a whole nother world for you. How important is for you as a person as a person that's pursuing a certain industry to be there for the opportunity, recognizing it, and throwing yourself into it. Like, how important is that?
Uh, I heard this on ESPN. I don't want to misquote, but the best ability is availability. And
Mm.
that is the main thing that I tell everybody is just whenever the opportunity comes, take it. Like I told you off camera, I was in Pasaporte, and as I'm getting home, the call came in for me to go and do that spot
Yeah,
with
yeah.
50 in the club that night. So it was like being available and just being there is all, it's 99% of it for the most time.
I believe I'm a firm believer in like recognizing, because that's the thing I think people get it messed up sometimes is not recognizing an opportunity
Correct.
and sometimes pushing through it. Like there's times, I'm pretty sure there's times when you have to edit something and it's late in the night, but like you got to be 10 toes down for you to show up to the occasion because you never know what comes of it. And
Yeah.
and I think you
Listen,
you showing up to that, like look where you're at today and all the things that life has brought you.
the first part of this career is nightlife, and that time schedule and that like frame where it's like I was one of the first ones where it's like I'm shooting stuff at night and then I'm dropping it in the morning.
Yeah,
Like by 8, 9 a.m., you're getting a recap at certain points of like whatever night I was. So I
yeah,
always knew it was like being the first one to the door or through the door is always like important because it's like you're gonna get the clicks, you're gonna get the views. People are gonna see like, oh, this happened last night, and then this is the person that caught it. It's like, oh, we want to see. I wasn't there. What happened?
yeah. That's dope. And that leads me to the next question. Like, what were some of the toughest lessons you learned when starting out in this industry?
Toughest lessons. I guess like burnout rate because you're gonna be doing so much and you have so much creativity. Like for me, I've been doing this for so many years, but in the beginning, it was like you're so creative. You're like you have so many things that you haven't done and you're inspired by. So you're like pushing through all these things that you want to do, and then it's like now you're in year what 15, 16, where you pull from that you haven't pulled from already.
Yeah,
But it's always stuff that like I guess keeps you motivated, but figuring out not to burn yourself out is always one of the biggest challenges because you want to keep doing so much and being consistent.
yeah.
I don't know. Is
Oh, no, I dig it. I
that
dig it. No, I dig it for sure. I'm like trying to find that there's a balance there.
yeah,
One thing that you mentioned that automatically made me want to ask you this question is being that in the industry that you're in, you have to be innovative, you have to be kind of fresh and new in the things that you do. I was gonna ask you if you have a trademark within your craft that, like, if somebody sees your video, they're like, "Oh yeah, that was Jose, like Alfonseca
I
Films."
always have little Easter eggs. Before I was such a logo whore at the time, where my logo would go in the front of the video.
Yeah,
So as I was building my company, my logo would be the first thing you see, and then it moved to the end, and now I'm comfortable where it's like, yeah, I don't have to. My logo doesn't have to be on the video. I could give you your video with your logos on it, and I'm comfortable with just being just the person that shot it and edited and just delivered the product.
yeah,
But I always throw little Easter eggs in like videos that I don't have my logo in, which
yeah.
is like the beginning. I think Benny Boom did the open wide. That was his like catch thing. Mine's is like a white wipe in the beginning of the video. So
So
it's
that's your
just
thing.
that's
That's
how
your
I always start all my videos with like the flashing into white into whatever scene I'm going into.
got you. And then, like for me, marketing is everything. So like you figured that out on your own. That you're like, um, you went through the transition of saying like, okay, I need my stuff. I need you to know who I am, right?
Correct.
And then little by little, you started phasing it out. What do you think did that for you? Because it does take a certain level of confidence for you to like stamp everything and now be like, you know what, I don't need to stamp it because I feel confident enough that like if you know me, you'll know. How
Correct.
how, how did you come to that point?
I guess just being comfortable with yourself and your work and the things that you've done already so far. That to me, I wanted to be known in the beginning due to because nobody knew me.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
more of like if people see the logo in the front, they're gonna know this is the person that did this.
Yeah.
And if they don't like the rest of it, at least they saw the logo.
Like if you like a little bit of it, hit
Yeah,
me up. You know
exactly.
where to find me.
At least you saw, who was the person that done it, and but that was a huge thing, and like I got that from movies because it's like
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
Paramount,
Correct.
all these things in the beginning of
Yeah.
the film. So I used to have like a really long intro. Like my videos were probably like 15, 20 minutes long in the first
You
like
had the snap thing, right?
yeah,
Was it?
correct. Yeah, I had the slate
The
with
slate.
Loser Films right under it. Yeah,
That's dope. What inspired that originally? Like, and
the
then
logo.
yeah,
Honestly, I knew I wanted to do video, but I started off with photos, and that was like kind of the thing that I was like, oh, I think this looks cool, and I could throw my logo on the front of it. I think like my cousin worked on that. Noel, shout out to you. He helped me kind of create the logo, and then Liz Maris helped me create the website to put all the things on. So
And
it was like learning. I'm using WordPress, like trying to
yeah,
figure out websites and like doing coding. So this is like right after like MySpace era.
yeah, yeah.
But we kind of knew a little bit of coding in our time, but it wasn't to that extreme.
I think it's dope too, like to have that, right, from starting off with Loser Films, to have the slate, because then it really gives you perspective, or like gives the audience perspective of like, you're not a photographer, you this is your lane, right?
Yeah.
What was the differentiator for you? Because like you start off with a camera that was meant for taking photos.
Yeah.
So what made you fall in love with one side more than the other, being videography?
To me, I already knew photos. Well, in the beginning, it was just more me building up to going into video because I already knew off the rip that I was going to get into video.
Yeah.
In the club space, nobody did video. It
Mm.
was only people doing photos. It was
Yeah.
between me and 7 Days, 7 Nights. There were like that was my only competitor at the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't really other people, other like promoters and stuff like that were doing photos. Where I was like, I'm gonna come into a space where I don't see anybody in that's doing video in
Yeah.
these spaces. And at that time, I think my first video that I did in the club was what's his name? Red Cafe.
Okay.
We did it in TBA, and he came
What
and
else,
performed.
Mr. What else? I remember that his slogan was like in all his songs.
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah.
else?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
damn,
remember
that's
that?
crazy. Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I hope
No,
that
no,
didn't
no,
throw you
yeah.
off.
But
Like,
I was like, damn, that's crazy to think about that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah,
But I knew I was gonna go from photos to video. It was just more like getting the money together to buy a camera.
yeah.
And my first video camera was probably like this big.
Okay.
Cameras didn't do video at the time, like the point and shoots.
Yeah.
So it was a Nikon D80, which my dad had at the time. That was the one that I took to the clubs for the first time, where it was
Oh,
just
shit.
like, it was his vacation camera, and I'm like, can I borrow this? He's like, yeah. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna go and take pictures at a club. He's like, okay, be safe. But he didn't know I was doing like all of this. Like it was gonna lead into all of this.
Yeah.
So those first cameras was just stills, and then I'm gonna say within a year of that, like the Nikon D90 came out.
Okay.
And that was the first DSLR that did photo and video. And I think it only did like maybe 720. It wasn't even like 1080 at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or probably it did, but it wasn't like sharp how it is.
Yo, that like that's the thing too. I remember looking at your videos just before 4K. I don't know if you shot 4K back then, but like the artist that you worked with, it was 1080p. And I remember like
Yeah.
the YouTube, you would hit that,
Yeah.
and your videos was so flawless, bro. And I
Thank you,
remember
man.
like during that time, like in pursuing what I was pursuing, I remember that like the only camera I had was like it was 720. It was just, and I remember my wife, who at the time was just my girlfriend, I'm like, yo, everybody's shooting 1080. Like I can't put up videos that are less than that. And this is like a year into my relationship where she got me a Canon, the T3i. It was 1080.
Okay, the Rebels. Yeah.
The Rebel, and like, and funny enough, like look at your influence, bro, because like your videos to me during that time in when I was pursuing hip hop, you stood out. Like you were everywhere. Like all the video, like everybody, like Audubon and like the things you did for Frankie P and stuff like that. Shout out to them, by the way. You were on that. So I'm like, I need to be shooting shit like him. Like he, look at the quality of the video. And then you had something too. That's why I asked you about like what you feel like your videos are known for. You had something where the videos were like double up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
Mirroring effect.
Yeah, the mirroring, but it
Yeah.
was dope because you used to mirror it and it would come from the bottom. And then I started seeing that same type of stuff in the industry with like the ASAP Mob, like
Yeah.
kind of videos. They had similar things. I don't know if you had involvement in that, but super dope, bro. You inspired that back then. So even till today, when I started getting into like the pod, where I was thinking about the video and all that stuff, I'm like, it has to look
It has to look sharp. It has to
like,
look...
you know, I don't have to have the whole, but I want my stuff to look dope, like 4K and all that stuff. So you inspired that even from back then till now.
Thank you, man. I
So
appreciate that. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
even know.
yeah. So I have to keep, not the whole philosophy of keeping up with the Joneses, but like I want my stuff to look official.
No, yeah, I respect that. I
Yeah.
definitely. It's a grueling career to have because it's very expensive. So anybody that I tell, I want to do video, I want to do photos. I'm like, cool. And I tell you this to them, I was like, this is an expensive hobby, so you have to make money from it. For
Facts.
this just to be your hobby, you're gonna spend like thousands of dollars because you're always gonna want the next thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And cameras at that time weren't upgrading as fast as they were now,
yeah,
or maybe you weren't seeing them as fast because it went, like I told you, it went from the D80 to D90, and then it felt like every 2 or 3 years it was like another camera,
yeah, yeah.
and it was like better specs, 1080. Now you're gonna do 2.7K, and then it goes on and on. But
What are you as far as like brand wise? Are you loyal to one brand more than the other, or are you just whatever is
I
good?
was a Nikon kid till my last previous camera because I use my cameras till they die.
Okay,
So you have a certain life expectancy on your camera.
I
So
didn't
you
know
have
that.
yeah, you have a certain amount of like shutter clicks, especially for if you're doing photos. You know an X amount of number, and then your shutter just breaks.
Oh
You have to
snap!
replace your shutter, but that
That's more
costs as much
expensive.
as
Yeah,
yeah. So I used my Nikon. I was a Nikon kid till then, so I bought all Nikon bodies and glass. So I went up the chain from like entry level consumer cameras into a full body DSLR.
yeah.
Uh, and then I jumped into Canon. Uh, I ended up getting the Black Magic, which is not Canon, but it's like Black Magic. That's what I shoot with now.
Sounds
And
expensive.
then
Sorry, because these are the clickbait moments where people are like, "Oh shit, I want to see that."
gotcha.
What we talking about? Like ballpark for a Black Magic camera?
Not ballpark. Black Magic is actually pretty affordable now. They're like about 2,500
Okay, okay,
for the entry body, and then they go up because they even have like higher end scales. But you get a lot of quality for your buck with Black Magics.
gotcha. And why does that brand like brand or name stick out? Because you said Black Magic, like, and almost like you knew I knew what it was. I don't know,
Oh, okay,
to
my
be real with you,
bad.
but it sounds expensive, and it sounds like it's one of the dope cameras.
It's a cinema camera, so pretty much I wanted to officially just remove myself from doing photos.
Okay,
So that is a complete cinema camera. So it doesn't do pictures at all.
okay,
So if you hire me for video or for stills, I would have to bring somebody else in because I can't even
gotcha.
do stills with that camera. So it's a full cinema camera. It's used for like documentaries and stuff like that.
Nice.
And for me, I was like, I'm jumping into another space where I can't bring my Nikon glass into now. So I had to reinvest all of. I still have like the Nikon cameras and some of the glass, but I just had to reinvest in a whole like different ecosystem now.
Gotcha.
So it was more the Canon glass, and I like the Canon look too. It's not bad. It's pretty sharp. It's very blue compared to like Nikon from what I remember from before, or it was like much more warmer.
Yeah,
But Nikon has a good look and feel to it.
got you. All right, awesome. I love Sony, but I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know half of the things that you know. But just to me, I almost feel like my mom when it comes to TVs. She don't want nothing that's not Samsung.
I
So
have a Samsung TV
there
too.
you
I'm a
go.
Samsung
Say
guy
no
too.
Samsung. We got her, I think, an LG. One of the rooms has an LG, and she's like,
Mm.
"Eso barato." Like, mom, like LG is not barato. Like
It's still good.
I'm like, it's still good. She's like, yeah, but Samsung. So it's like for me, so that's me being not that into like cameras. Like to me, Sony is everything.
You know what's the funniest thing? I was thinking of getting a new TV too, and I was like, they have a really good, because I want to get like an 86 inch now.
Yeah.
And they have a really good 86 inch TV that's an LG for like a really good price compared to like the Samsung. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I asked my brother, my younger brother too, because he just got one. He's like, I got an LG. Just make the switch. It's okay.
Make the switch. I'm like, are you sure? Do I have to put warranty on it? Where should I get it from? Should I get Best Buy? Or is this a
for real.
Walmart purchase? Like, yeah, I tell you, because I live in Florida. So when my step pops, he's passed away, but he was telling me like, Anthony, I need a new TV. Like, what should I get? And you know, like me looking out for them, I don't want them to spend too much money. Like these things go out every. I'm like,
Yeah.
just get yourself. And I looked it up. I'm like, the features look like, and I sent it when it got here. And my mom did not. She didn't shut up, bro. So he's calling me. He's like, yo, what did you do? Um, so that was funny, bro. On a different note, so I know that we didn't dive into this, and I don't want to like give enough time for you to talk about the things you're doing now, but you started off kind of in the club scene, and then also talk about like the role that you played in the hip hop scene for Uptown, Washington Heights, and Dykeman. Like, do you feel like that was kind of like you had your hands on that too, or
Um, I felt like I worked with a lot of different artists from up here. And I feel like I came into like doing what I do at a great time. Cause at that time nightlife downtown wasn't as popular and it was coming uptown. And talking about Nate and that whole transition and coming up here, that was like the first time I did an interview with Jim Jones, and we shot it in the
mm,
Bronx. And he said, I'll never forget this. He's like, Uptown is catching a wave that we haven't seen in a while, or we haven't seen yet, where it literally everybody was coming uptown to party.
yeah,
So I started to see all the acts come uptown. Fabulous, Jim Jones, French, uh, all these people were coming to, at the time it was like Vintage, which is now made in Mexico. But
yeah,
all these acts were coming there. They were coming to Umbrella. They were coming. Everybody was coming up here.
yeah,
So it was just like a good time to just be in the space and then work and like, because you're gonna come and see French, but at Umbrellas, right? And then what happens? The promoter's gonna book somebody to open for them.
yeah,
So you're gonna get an Audubon, you're gonna get a Dark, you're gonna get a Steady Fetty, you're gonna get somebody of local caliber from that neighborhood, from that area to go and perform in these spaces, and then like you're getting an eye on like, oh, French is seeing me perform, this
yeah,
person's seeing me perform, gives you opportunity too, and you're getting to I guess make a bridge for like people to connect and
yeah, yeah.
network with.
That's
But I
dope.
felt like I don't know. I feel like I worked with so many different artists from up here, and I guess yes and no. But like I didn't work with all of them. Like
Got
the
you.
IOD kids from up here, like I knew about them, but I never like personally worked with them. But I knew they were buzzing. Steady Fetty was one of my artists for a good amount of years, and I shot a lot of my music portfolio with him. Like
Yeah,
he let me do whatever I wanted. I was coming with like full storyboards and script, like I was telling you offline. I
yeah.
saw the streets was watching, where I was like, I always wanted to do something like this,
Nice.
where I'm able to story tell and then put your music in between and give you more than just a music video. So I'm giving you a whole story and a
Mm.
chance to act.
That was a question that I have for you too. Is like me, my train of thought was like when you were talking about the scenes you were shooting and stuff like that. Like, how often do you come to the table with a plan, and then it's almost like you're challenged because the client doesn't see it through the same lens as you? Like, does that become a challenging portion where like your creativeness doesn't match with the client?
No, it's always a give and take. It's always a collab. It's a collaborative force whenever I work with anybody. Like when I worked with Audubon, Audubon showed me, and he kind of spoiled me. And I will tell you this: he showed me what a real artist is. Like he is a creative through and through. Like he is writing, he's making beats, he is somewhat engineering the session. Also,
Yeah, yeah.
like he did it all from creating the idea to full through directing the music videos, which his guy, and like I became such a fan of his because the person who was shooting his videos at the time, which was Nelson Cesaro, and he's from up here, he's from Washington Heights too. His eye is like something that I've never seen. Nelson's eye was different, like the way he shot things, the way he edited them, he put them together, like that was him and Audubon, where it was just like a vision that they had. And then when I joined the team and like started working with them, I was like, yo, Nelson, I want you to be my mentor.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, he's kind of teaching me things where I'm like, he had a Nikon 7D at the time. He had like jailbroken in. He's able to shoot RAW and all these things. And I'm like, I'm a kid just like absorbing all this
Soaking it
up.
up.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. And I think that's important too, the fact that you were into something I think the vulnerability of saying like, yo, I want you to mentor me. Can you talk about that too? Like having
Yeah,
that,
bro, that's so
like,
important. It's so important. I feel like it's one of those things that I don't think if he knew exactly that he was my mentor, but I just kind of like forced it upon him. Anytime I would like, I'll call him and like, yo, can I come over? I'll bring a 6-pack of beer.
mm,
So I'll like, he loves beers, he loves to drink. So I'll bring a 6-pack and I would never drink. And I'm like, just let him like talk and I'll just ask questions for him. One of the best advice he gave me was to watch stuff in silent. So you could really see
mm,
your visuals come, because sometimes like a lot of the sound effects and all this adds to the film, but if you want to get good at shooting, just look at the shots without anything else under it.
yeah, yeah.
And that gave me such a thing, and I've always looked at that and I've always taken that, and I've always like, I still like obviously do that today, where
That's
it's
pretty
just like
dope.
certain things where you just want to like capture what is being put on screen.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%. I like that. And for some reason, it reminds me of Mac Miller, like when he's watching, like, I think it was watching cartoons with the sound off or something like that.
Mm,
Like, if you're able to tell a story on mute, that's
yes,
powerful, right? That's one of
so
the things that I
powerful.
enjoy. Like, I've never done anything behind like the camera or nothing like that, but I enjoy reading books because of that. Because you can, in your
In your
brain,
mind, you're
you
putting the visuals together.
yeah, man. And I think, and seeing people like yourself put something on camera and the shots. Like me and my wife, when we watch movies, we always pay attention to for some reason. I don't know why. We're like, that was a dope shot. Like
Yeah, man.
the beauty in that.
I watch so much like documentaries, videos, music videos, movies, and I watch it multiple times too. Because like certain times I would just watch it for the movie.
Yeah.
The second time I watch it for the storyline, then visuals, sound effects. So it's like you get into, at least for me, it becomes annoying because I'm like, I watch something, I'm like, I'll just sneakily put it on if you come over, and I'll throw it on, and then you're just like sitting here. I'm like, I know you're gonna like this movie. I'm not gonna tell
Yeah.
you about it. Like you just watch it, and then it's like you get hooked into like, oh, this was good. How did you know? I'm like, oh, I watched this already like 4 times, but I know this is a good watch for you. I think
Dope.
you'll have something to pull from this.
Dope. 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 Who is your inspiration? Like who is somebody you look up to, whether locally or in the industry in Hollywood or something like that, that you would say like,
So many people, man. Like I feel like I try to learn from everybody. Like Nelson was a huge inspiration for me in the beginning. Then I learned something I started doing too, which recently as of now, there was movies that I liked as a kid. So I go back and watch those now as an adult to see like what made me want to like this. Sometimes it's the director, sometimes it's the writer, sometimes it's just the actor.
is
Like
there a specific film that you that sticks out to you?
so many. My first like diehard film obviously was like probably like Goodfellas. That's the one that I probably watched the most. So like
Mm,
Scorsese is a huge part of a lot of things that I do.
okay.
I throw little like inspos in like almost all the music videos that I've done. Coming in through the kitchen, that's Goodfellas, and when he's coming in through the Copa.
Yeah.
There's always like little things that I do that pay homage to like things that I've seen. I'm like, oh, I want to do this on a larger scale eventually, but I could take this and put it in here, and then I know for later like how I would improve that.
I guess that years ago with you, remember you had these I'm big into mannerisms and like I guess look. You used to have the glasses like Scorsese, like
Oh, I had the black
the
frames.
black
Yeah.
frames big, and I'm like, I wonder. I didn't know you, so I was like, I always said in the back of my head, I wonder if he's a fan, like that's somebody he looks up to.
Yeah, Scorsese is huge. Spielberg. When I started doing my homework on all these guys, because I didn't know who exactly all these people were, but like to know that Spielberg was boys with Scorsese, which was boys with George Lucas, they all hung out.
Yeah,
So they're all helping each other with their
it's
own films and
powerful.
stuff like that. Where I was like,
And Spielberg
damn.
like sneaking into the
Yeah,
studios.
sneaking into the studio. His doc was so like eye opening on HBO, where it was just like he was really like the LeBron. He came in late, and
Yeah,
his thing just was like going up from the beginning.
yeah,
Because his first movie was Jaws, and it was just like groundbreaking
yeah,
off the rip. And then he just got anything he wanted after that.
yeah, 100%. Aside from that, like, what was the best piece of advice that you've gotten either from somebody in the industry or even a friend of yours
Best piece of advice.
that's relative to your craft?
Well, I kind of told you earlier about availability. I think that's probably one of the best ones. And then staying consistent was probably another. Where for me, it was always like, I have to produce, I have to put something out. Even if it's weekly, daily, because obviously we had daily in the beginning,
Yeah.
because I was doing nightlife. But then obviously, once my career started changing, I had to like, oh, I don't have to throw off stuff daily. It could be weekly now. And then like, it got to a point where it just became monthly, but just consistency, staying aware and putting yourself on Front Street and being available. Be honest with you, that's
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest things.
With consistency, you have to have like self-encourage. Like, what keeps you motivated to do the things that you do?
Not seeing my mom where she needs to be exactly yet. My family members also, where it's just like certain things that keep motivating me. My mom's in a good place, but it's just more of like, you always want that for your parents, like, yo, the big house with
Yeah.
the lawn, your dad gets a truck and all this. So those are still things that I'm striving for and trying to push and get for my family, and I feel like eventually I will get there. I'm
Yeah.
putting myself in the right places and the right spot to make that come true.
What's your ultimate goal in this industry or for yourself with your company?
Now I am trying to get into shorts and like films.
Okay.
So that is the next stage where I'm getting into now. I will be shooting the pilot for my series between now and early next year. So
Okay.
that's the next thing, to getting into more narrative work.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, or you want to keep that
I'll
more to
give you
come,
the
more to
name.
come?
I'll give you the name of it right now. It's called Apartments. So
Okay.
it'll be a series where it's kind of like Black Mirror, where it's like one episode is not correlated with the other.
Got you.
But that's all I'm giving you as of right
Okay.
now. I'm
Look
working
forward to
on it
seeing it,
with two of
man.
my friends too. So we've been
Dope.
writing some stuff and getting some
So
stuff
you're a writer
together.
too. You do your own.
You have to write to some level. I don't know how to fully write scripts yet.
Yeah.
That's one of my boys' job, was like Gary.
Okay.
That's his job in the crew. But we all pitch and like bring ideas together and just, I guess, put them on paper and then fleshing them out. But I'm not the best writer. I wouldn't say like, I'm here like writing novels.
Yeah.
But it's something that you have to do, and you have to kind of like put pen to paper and understand.
Got you. And what do you think your favorite part of your industry is? Like, is it just being behind the cameras? Is it directing? Is it producing? Like, what's your favorite portion of that?
To me, one, I love to shoot. That's my ultimate thing. I love being on set. I love going to, anytime there's like a shoot day, I'm always like very excited. I always get there early. I'm always wanting to get the like work started. Directing, but then also just like um, where your work goes, or like the amount of people that it reaches. I think that's probably one of the craziest things, and where your camera could take you.
Hmm.
Because I never thought I would end up in Romania.
Oh,
Out
you
of
did?
all
You've
places,
you've
yeah.
gone?
Yeah, I ended up going to Romania to shoot a festival called Beach Please. And I was out there
Beach, please.
for
That's funny.
exactly right. I was like, I never heard about it until like this year, but they've been doing this for like a few things, almost like a Rolling Loud type of situation,
Yeah.
where they have, I guess, like Romanian acts, and then they bring in like heavy hitters from like the States or
Got you.
wherever it is, because like Young Thug was there,
Dope.
Gunna, not Gunna, Little Baby. There was a whole bunch of artists there at the time. Like ASAP Rocky headlined it
Nice.
on the last day. But it's crazy where your work could go and who it could reach.
Nice. And being that you have been in rooms where like celebrities and stuff, who would be in some of the people that you say that is your favorite to work with? Or that's enjoyable, that you're like,
I
when you
love.
hear their name, you're like, yeah, I want to say what's up to them and catch up.
I feel like anybody that I work with, because I worked with so many different people, and I always enjoy it. I never really had a bad experience with an artist that I was like, yo, I'm never working with them again.
Yeah.
Jim is always cool. I feel like Jim has been a part of my career from like the beginning to like most recent, where we did shot like a commercial for some headphones. Spin King is pretty cool. He always puts me in rooms with different artists that I would never work with or like be with. Just like being his videographer let me into so many other stuff. But he introduced me, him and his brother introduced me to 50,
Okay.
which I've shot with, and he's given me pretty good advice too.
Being that you have Alfonseca Films, right? To a certain degree, would you consider yourself like an entrepreneur in that aspect?
Yeah, 1000%. Definitely entrepreneur. I started this with just myself and not knowing how difficult this road and journey would be is pretty insane. From you are all the departments a corporation has.
Yeah.
You are the talent, you are the accounting, you are HR, you are so many, your sales, you have to go and pitch yourself. It's so grueling, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, this is me. This is what I built. This is what I fought for. Like what you said earlier with you're fighting for your last name, not your first.
Yeah.
So that's always very important to me. And like the entrepreneur life is not for everybody. It's not for the weak. You have to be mentally strong for this. And then also like physically like prepared for all the battles you're gonna go through and like people you have to like run into and talk and convince and barter with. It is one of the hardest things to do and be in, I think, in the United States or anywhere, is an entrepreneur. Because you have to believe and be delusional enough every day to be like, yo, I'm gonna make it. I am doing this. This is happening.
And is this right now your point? Your life right now? Is this what you do full time?
Yeah, this is my 9 to 5. I wake up, I edit, answer emails, going to buy equipment. This is my daily life.
Wow, bro, that's also inspiring because like, how many people can say that they wake up every day and do something that they love to do and make a living from it? Because that's the key right there, is getting to a point where you're doing what you love and you get paid to do what you love.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very rewarding at the end of the day, but it's also very grueling. But it's also just so much fun. Because I think I posted something the other day where it's like, you could be in your kitchen having a mental breakdown, crying on the floor, and then you get an email from a client saying that they need these revisions on. So it's like, all right, you got to get up, and now it's like, all right, I got to go and do this.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man. It's a roller coaster.
I don't know if this would be a lot more on your plate, but I would love to see like behind the scenes look at what that looks like for you, like vlogging your life. And I know that's like
everybody's asking for like certain things like that, like putting myself more in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm here with you today.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on. It's one of those things where it's like, it was so hard for me to do because I wanted the brand to just kind of be itself. Like I didn't want to be the face of the brand. I just wanted the brand to exist. So that's why I've always took like a back seat to promoting myself as this person.
Yeah. It's dope that you get to do it now. And like, what are some of the steps that you're doing now to understand that point of view? Like, I know that you spoke about going from being somebody that's at the clubs to now being more on the commercial side and like, being not only diverse, but kind of going into a different lane of the things you do. What are some of the steps that you're thinking about taking or advice that you've gotten to lead you there?
I was filming 50 Cent about like a week ago in Houston. We went to shoot the Savannah Banana performance he had, and right before he went on perform, we had dinner at the spot right across the street from the stadium. And at that dinner, he like stopped and asked me questions, which I was not expecting to have at all. And for me, I'm always like BTS. I'm like the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
So for me to get questions directly asked at me, I was a little thrown off by it. But one of the pretty cool things he told me, because I told him I wanted to get more into narrative work and like shooting films and shooting series, he told me to take an acting class. to
Dope.
make myself vulnerable enough to understand what the actor is going through. So when you go in there and direct, you know how they're feeling and what they should feel in certain situations,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you already put yourself in those shoes of being in front of the camera and being an actor. That when it's time to direct, it makes it a little easier or more relatable for you to communicate with them.
That's fire, bro. How did that feel, like getting some advice from somewhere like 50 in his stature?
One, didn't expect it, and he's a lot nicer than I expected.
Yeah.
Because you have these images of what you think these people are before you actually meet them.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the nicest people that I've met. He's actually very friendly. He he talks to everybody, which I noticed. Didn't notice how engaged he is with everybody in the room, which is pretty nice.
That's dope. That's dope, man. That's super inspiring. Let me ask you this,
Okay.
right? How important is it to like how important is networking for you in this industry, or just in general?
It's super important. It's super important to be able to speak to and like comfortable approaching, um, making yourself available to just and vulnerable enough to just being able to go up to people and speak. It's very important. I'm pretty bad at that.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I always needed like a manager or somebody, like a middleman in between me and wherever the company is.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's super important. I'm just really bad at it. But luckily enough, the work has been that good that
Yeah.
it's
Your
led.
work has been your manager for you.
Yeah, that it's just like it's opened so many other doors up. But
Got you.
relationships are super important too, because it's like this person will introduce you to this person, I will introduce you to this person, and it's just kind of endless at that point where your name and your reputation could take you so many different places.
For you, Jose, like 10 years from now, what do you want people to say about your legacy, or what should be part of your legacy?
Washington Heights kid, a Washington Heights kid that made it out of Washington Heights and came back and gave back low key.
And what does that look like for you? Like when you say like giving back, what does that look like?
Uh, Inspiring, giving back to I guess my community uptown, like somewhere in the Heights. Even like to open up something up here
Yeah,
and being able to have kids come in and create like a studio of some sort and giving like time slots for
that's
people
dope.
to come and be creative, and that will be eventually one of the things that I would like to do up here too.
Yeah. You know, recently, being that you said that, I just heard the Fat Joe story on why he opened up the shop in
Yeah,
Broadway.
yeah,
And it was because I think he said that him and his dad used to come from the Bronx. They used to go downtown. And I apologies if I mess up the story, but ultimately it was super inspiring. He said that his dad used to be like a street vendor. He used to sell stuff outside, and he used to sell it on 158th on
oh
Broadway.
shit,
So he said like he's from the Bronx, right? Everybody knows Fat Joe. Like there's
yeah.
no,
VX energy is
you
heavy.
know what I'm saying, VX baby. Um, but they had like I think the question was like, why did he open it up in the Heights? He has one in Fordham now, I believe,
Hmm.
right? But that's what it was. It was monumental for him, and 158 stuck out to him, where he was just like,
I found that to be very weird too, because I used to live like down that block too, like on Riverside on
yeah,
158. And I was like, no way, he's putting the store right here. And funny enough, that's the same block where they shot You're All I Need. There's where Method Man and
yeah,
Mary
yeah,
J. Blige
Mary J.
come down
Blige,
the block. I was like, oh, this is like it's a legendary, like very iconic like block, but I've
yeah.
never thought that like, we'll see like a sneaker store like that there.
Yeah, it's sick. And like that story, like for me, if I would ever do something like that, it would be 170 between 179th and 180th and Broadway.
Okay.
There used to be an antique shop there in the like 90s,
Yeah.
and that was a friend of mine's store who used to run
Okay.
numbers, and
Oh
that was the
shit.
front. And I can say this freely now, we're past the statute of limitations and all that. He hasn't been in business in years, but still stay in contact with him. But that was what it was, and that's where I would want to put it because I share a similar story. Not I haven't had the chance to open up a store, but you remember like in the late '90s, early 2000s when the motor scooters started coming out.
Yeah.
I told my mom like, "Mom, I want one." And she's like, "Vete a trabajar, like, go work." And I think I said this story before, but just to get to it, she's like, "Go sell your old clothes or toys or whatever." And I took that shit to heart, bro. I went upstairs, I grabbed all my old toys, came downstairs, and sold them in front of that antique shop.
Ooh,
and in a
okay.
month I had my scooter. So you know what I'm
Congratulations,
saying?
man.
Like so that's what I'm saying. Like that inspiration. That's why I love the fact that you said like making it to you, and the fact that you didn't like speak about money. Like you were just like making it where I could come back to my hood and be like a light for the younger kids coming up. And that segues me into the next question, which is for the next generation coming up behind you. What's and I don't want to limit you to just to saying one piece of advice. What's some advice that you would give them that you feel like would be life changing or could be influential?
um, I guess like is I don't want to come off as cheesy, but I guess just knowing what you want to do and sticking to it.
Hmm.
Like, don't worry about what other people are going to tell you about what you want to do, because they are not you, and you know your own capabilities and limitations.
Yeah,
So don't feel like, oh, if this person didn't make it or this person didn't do wasn't as successful or something to that degree,
yeah,
let affect you.
yeah.
So it's just more of like focusing on yourself and really understanding what you want to do and going full throttle into it.
Nice, nice. I love that you said that, and being that I think we're both Jay Z fans and of that movement is his whole philosophy is similar to that of like just because you were unsuccessful at doing
Yeah.
something doesn't mean that if
If
I
I,
try to do
yeah,
it, I'm not gonna be successful.
correct.
And I think been trying not to curse this whole time, but I think that's where people get it fucked up, where it's like, damn, I did it. um, like the moment that you say like, yo, I'm gonna go out there and start shooting with my little camera that my girlfriend gave me and see where it goes. And then for somebody to come and be like, oh yeah, I tried that. That's just not, it's not worth it. Look at your story, look at your journey, look at all the beautiful things that you've done. Imagine if you would have stopped at that moment. And that's why I think what you're saying is so powerful,
Yeah,
bro.
it's crazy to me for me to think that I came from Washington Heights, that I like started this in like my bedroom with
Hmm.
my mom's table and a laptop, to going to Cupertino and doing projects with Apple. Whereas like that
Mm,
was like mind blowing to me. When the first time when I did that, I was like, yo, I made it to this at this level, to this
yeah.
space, and where I'm like at that campus, I think I've seen maybe
Oh, bro, you don't
a
even know. You
handful of
said
like,
Carpetina. I didn't. I'm like, where is that? I'm like, it sounds like it's in Asia. That's California,
yeah,
right?
correct, yeah, the Apple headquarters.
Bro, talk to me about that, bro. You just got me excited, kid. I'm like, I'm here sitting like I don't know what that is, but I remember seeing when you buy an iPhone for the first time,
Yeah,
that's what
Cupertino,
comes
yeah.
up. So yeah, talk about that, bro. That's pretty
I
fly and
can't
dope.
talk too much about that because we have NDAs,
Yeah,
but it was just more of I took two people out there with me, which was Iggy and DJ Locotron.
yeah.
But we were doing some tech stuff with them out there, and honestly, like I saw maybe 5 to 6 black people the whole duration I was there. I was like 3 days, and it was crazy to see that. I was like, yo, out of those people, I brought 3 more people of color here,
Yeah,
and we're working on something that is like, it was pretty amazing to do and just be a part of. But it was just like, yo, this is crazy how far
that's
I've come.
dope. Yeah, man, that's
Like
inspiring.
that one was like a big like eye opener for me. Where I was like, yo, this is, you're doing something different.
How big is your faith? Like, do you feel like you're and again, like I've spoken this about this
Yeah,
in pods where I don't, but it seems like
you have to have faith. My mom is, Dominican Catholic, so my mom goes to church every Sunday.
mm,
She gives you agua bendita. All this is like the real Dominican household upbringing. The
un belon.
belonas and stuff
Yeah,
like all that. So it's a part of me. It's a part of my upbringing. I did Catecismo and all that. Alianza. the So it's very important. It You would think like, oh, you're doing all these things, and the first thing when you get on that stage, who do you think? It's always God for the
yeah,
most part.
yeah,
So it's a part of it, and you have to have it to be that creative. And like, you need to have faith. You need to have
yeah,
something
yeah.
to lean on. That even though you can't touch it and like really uh, feel it, you need to have something in that space that is like, you need to lean into this. Or
That's dope, man. I love that. I love that because like in the things you're saying led me to ask that question. It wasn't even something I had planned, but just the things that you're saying, like you got like either small or big validations that the path that you're on belongs to you. Like the story is written.
Yeah,
You just gotta walk
you just gotta
in
walk it.
faith
Yeah.
and continue pushing forward, man. That's beautiful. Anything that you know, as we're wrapping up the podcast episode here, that you would like to share with the viewers, the listeners, of anything you have coming up, any advice that you know we didn't touch on? I mean, advice that you would like to give, or anything that we didn't touch on.
At the moment, this is like one of the first interviews I've done in so many years. I felt like I gave a lot at the moment.
Yeah,
Because I'm a very reserved person.
yeah,
I love being behind the scenes. I love shooting BTS, like in all my content. So it's weird for me to like tell my story or just like say my piece. Uh, but I guess stay tuned for Apartments. It'll be uh, on major platforms soon, hopefully. You know, have some things in the work, but and staying consistent and being available. For a while, I felt like I want to say my story, or there's places that I'm like, damn, I think not that I feel like I've done somewhat enough to say something. I
yeah,
feel like I bring something to the table where I could throw my 2 cents in. Like I was a part of so many scenes that I'm like, yeah, I was a part of that. I seen that. Oh yeah, we saw this. I was a part of that.
yeah.
We were help. I was a part of this upbringing or this path. Through my journey, I will say the biggest help, besides obviously the people that started, was DJs.
Okay.
I wanted to be a DJ. In the beginning part of my career, I was a DJ, like in my high school days.
Yeah,
So I learned blending and stuff like that, which also helped me with video editing later on,
yeah, yeah,
like understanding volumes and like how to switch, knowing tempo. Also help with editing. But DJs were such a monumental part and help for me. I was one of the first ones, to my knowledge, doing a lot of their photo shoots. So I
okay,
was doing like photo shoot flyers. One of the persons that helped me out a lot was DJ Flipstar. He was one of the first pillars that like took me from one club to another club
okay.
to another club. Then he introduced me to Pro Style, and he was at the time one of the biggest DJs that I ever worked with, and he took me to so many places, Power 105.1, working at the station and stuff like that, doing stuff down there. And then that led to Angie and getting to work with like the Voice of New York.
That's
That
dope.
was like that was probably one of the things. And I will say that till now, or well, I will say that now I feel like I could say like Angie knows me. Like if she sees me, she'll
Mm.
say hi. And like that was mind blowing to
Damn,
me
bro,
because
you
it's
gave me
like
goosebumps because I've continue and I'll tell you afterwards.
no, but it was just one of those things where I was like, yo, you see these people and you saw, like, you heard about them, you hear them on the radios, but to
Yeah,
be in the room and then, like, actually one of them, like, acknowledging you,
yeah,
like, oh, this is this person. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, she knows
yeah.
my name.
That's sick. And to something, and like it's not like you interview me, but like she's the reason I do what I do, bro. And I've never said that out loud. Like I haven't
Oh,
even really even thought it the whole way through. But when she's on the radio, like from High 97 to 105.1, to being such an early soul when she was in that video with Tupac.
yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm
I
saying?
love
Like,
Angie's story, man. I've been one of her biggest fans and supporters for so many years. And her giving me the opportunity to shoot certain things and like being in certain spaces with her was so amazing. Like I ended up getting to shoot the J. Cole Forest Hill Drive interview for her.
that's
And I think
dope.
that's probably one of her most favorite interviews. And I was like,
That's fly,
in
yeah.
real time, I was like, this is big.
Yeah, yeah, hell
I was
yeah. And
like,
you were part of that.
yeah, where I was like, yeah, I'm in the room. Like J. Cole, I dapped up J. Cole. I had my assistant there. She raves about it like to today. She's like, you're the reason I met J. Cole. I was
Yeah,
like, and that, well, obviously the album obviously was monumental for him.
yeah,
But that interview was probably like, and I think I heard her say in like another space, it was like probably one of her favorite interviews.
yeah,
And I was like, oh shit, like you were there for that.
yeah. Because what it is too, bro, like for for a host or somebody who's interviewing you, like the chemistry, like once you're able to have like that back and forth
Yeah,
where
once you're able to go back and forth,
that
his match
there's
was awesome.
magic there, and to be able to have that with different people, and like to be able to say like, damn, that was one of my favorite moments because of like the way the conversation was and how real it was. But yeah, bro, like thank you for helping me uncover that, because that's one thing I'll say, like I've never, when I think about why I watch interviews and stuff like that, Like she's one of the people that I used to like listen to either on my way to work, on my way to school, like all
Her
that,
work ethic is crazy
and it's
too, because I got
bananas.
to see it like in real time, which I didn't know for her show. She edits her own stuff in real time
Oh, I
as
didn't know
like the
that.
show's going. So like seeing that, I was like, wait, what? So like, if you work in a radio, for the most part, you have like a person that runs your boards and like
Hmm.
editing the commercials and all this. Like she's literally running her own boards and stuff. And I was like,
That's sick.
oh, okay.
That's
So I was like,
sick.
oh, this is different. And this is like certain things that I've seen in her do that I always like tell other people. I'm like, yo, Angie does this. I think
Yeah,
this is probably the best way for you to go about this.
bro. And
Uh,
what I like too, like I always like a clean. I like the cleanliness of entertainment. Like she's somebody that I feel like, to my knowledge, has never compromised her integrity, right?
yeah.
And like even the respect that she gets from the industry.
Hmm.
And speaking about that, it has a lot to do with the way I carry myself and the way you probably carry yourself too, where it's just like you always present yourself as the best
You want the best
version of
version of
yourself.
yourself
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
to be
that to me is so
front and
powerful.
center. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
man.
very important. And she's always been like one of those like people that you've looked up to and like admired, because it's just like she could never. To me, Angie can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
dope.
like it was funny because I was in Miami and they had played what was her song? The one
There's Ladies Night that she
yeah,
was a part of.
yeah, Ladies Night. They had played it and I had like sent her a clip. I was like, "Yo, you still rocking out here?
That's dope. You still with the time. You still
Yeah,
down.
you still out here."
But Jose, man, I appreciate you coming on as a guest. I appreciate you taking the time to come out here, man, and it means a lot. I knew you before you knew me, but I admired you at a distance because I knew like your footage was always A1, and hearing like dudes like Chris Works talk about your work, and like you guys traveled like
Yeah,
to a
I
lot of
didn't. That's what I
different
was gonna say.
places.
That steady run was probably one of the coolest things that I got to do because we were traveling to different places and filming with like no permits. We were just like pulling up guerrilla style
Yeah,
and just getting stuff done. It was so awesome, man. And
yeah.
I have to thank Chris for that. He's helping me, bringing me on board, and like helping me like go and shoot all those things was pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to him and everything he's doing, man. He has a lot of things in the works too. I gotta bring him back on. But yeah, man, thank you for being on. Any last comments? Like how where can people find you? Like if somebody wants to work with you, like what's the best form to get at you?
Um, on my Instagram, Alfonseca Films, Vimeo page, Alfonseca Films too. Those are the two things you can reach out to me on, or alfonseca@gmail.com at the moment if you want to email. Uh, and thank you for your time and thank you for having me on, man.
For sure, man. It's been a
It,
pleasure.
it was a pleasure for me. It was pretty cool to actually be here and just like talk to you and share some things that I don't think a lot of people knew.
That's dope, man. Appreciate your time, my brother.
Thank you, man.
Have a
Appreciate
love.
that.